Ne-am întors la GPeC Summit. We are back here at our anniversary edition, 20 years of GPeC. With me, it's Craig Sullivan, UX Experimentation Specialist. Hi, how are you? Your microphone.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
How are you, Craig? How
I'm
was the
good.
speech?
It was good. I've been enjoying my time in Bucharest too. I've been going everywhere on the Lime scooters. Great fun. You can do power slides in them. It's awesome.
How was the public from GPeC? How do you feel at GPeC Summit?
Good. Lots of questions. There wasn't even enough time to answer them all. It was really good. Really good feedback.
Welcome here, and so glad to have you here with us. You've audited hundreds of sites and apps and seen firsthand where things were often go wrong. For those watching at home, can you give us a quick overview of your talk today and what's the single most important insight you hope people take away with them?
The talk today was really about there's a hidden business risk. The best example is thinking, if you have a children's store,
Yeah.
and the door is not wide enough for double buggies, what's going to happen, right? Mums with two kids, right, or the buggy's too wide, it won't fit through the door. This is an access problem, right? If you were watching this in the store, you would see that people can't get in and use your store, so you would make the door wider, right? But this problem happens on websites. So I have an Android device, I visit your store, but you haven't tested it on Android, so it breaks. But does anyone see that? No, because it's only happening on my device and nobody's looking over my shoulder. So the talk today was about why this is a hidden problem. The great example that I shared today was two bugs on credit card page, the payment page for an e-com website, which was costing nearly £1 million every single month.
God.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Huge.
If I was missing this amount of money every month, I would kind of notice it, right? Like, oh,
Right.
it's down the back of the sofa. No. So this is a lot of money to lose for a couple of bugs, and people won't call you up and tell you that it's broken. So this is why it's your job to fix it, not theirs.
You emphasize that device experience starts in the hands of the customer and can quietly destroy conversions. Can you share an example of a seemingly small device issue that had a surprisingly big impact on revenue or engagement?
One of the examples I shared today was if you have a name, let's say my name is John, and my name is in an English dictionary, right? So let's say I'm typing in my name into the checkout, and you have left spell check on, okay? Now imagine my name is Turkish and my name is Gorcen, right? Gokcen, right? What's spell check going to do to that? It changes it and it replaces it with another word, right? So it's now telling me that my own name that I was given when I was born is wrong, and it then swaps it with something from a dictionary. So now you have to then delete your name and retype it,
Yeah.
and then get it to ignore it. So this is like a tiny little change you can make, but it will actually make a big difference to conversion.
But in a world of constant updates, devices, and screens, is perfect UX even possible anymore, or
No.
we are just chasing illusions?
No, I think there are two issues. You have to find the problems, and then you prioritize the ones that are costing you most money. It's like if you need to do things around your house. If the roof is leaking and there's a huge hole, you're not going to paint the kitchen, right? So you have to prioritize around where the biggest problems are. But to do that, you have to know where the problems are, right?
Yeah.
So
Of course.
you can't get even close to good UX, never mind perfect UX, unless you know about the problems.
You mentioned that just 5 or 7 key devices often drive over 90% of revenue or engagement. How should businesses identify which devices truly matter for their audience, and what common mistakes do they make when optimizing across multiple screens?
I have made a Looker Studio dashboard available. It's in my talk and slides. It was about 15 years of work. And this will help you. It uses your Google Analytics data to tell you exactly what the devices are that your customers have that are visiting your site. So this is the golden geese, right? I then know how to protect my revenue by making sure that it works on those devices. And for most companies, it's very common. There'll be 2 or 3 models of iPhone. There will be a medium and large Android device, a Windows laptop, a Mac laptop, maybe an iPad. But that's pretty much it. For almost all of the sites that I've worked on, it's usually 5 or 6 devices to test over 90% of your audience. So you don't have to test thousands of devices, you only have to test 5 or 6.
Do you think companies are still designing websites, or should they designing journeys instead?
It depends on the service, but for most people, it is a journey through time and space, right? You don't just come interact with a funnel, right? You go to a website, you browse for products, you find the product, add it to cart, you check out, but then the story goes on because you then might have to return the product, you're going to order again. So this isn't, it's like the difference between having a one-night stand or marrying someone and living with them for 30 years. It's a different level of commitment and relationship to what you might think. So it's not just about acquiring the customer. One of the biggest drags on business growth is not retaining customers and making sure that they actually want to come back.
For online stores or apps watching today, what's one simple, fast improvement they could implement using the data they already have in order to improve user experience and conversion?
Just test the stuff that you release on your site, test it with the 5 or 6 devices. If you run A/B tests, check your A/B test, QA, your A/B tests or site releases using the 5 or 6 devices that are most of your audience. If you do that, you are removing all the risk of shipping harmful product. And that's one of the most important things to avoid.
And if we are going to make a top of the devices that we should try first, what are those?
For most companies, it's going to be the biggest driver of revenue is going to be iPhones, right? Because socio-demographic there, they
everywhere.
have more money, right? And it's the same in every country. If you don't make your stuff work on iPhones, you just kiss your business goodbye, right? So then it's going to be probably Android and then maybe Mac and Windows too. So it's not one big device, it's probably those 4 that are almost all of the revenue.
Finally, if you could give one guiding principle for anyone responsible for UX and conversion, something that could immediately change the way they approach device experience, what would that be?
Care about how your design is going to be used. If your design is going to be used on 4K monitors, like an ultra high def monitor, you need to make it work on those things. So designers and UX people need to also use data, right? So if I was a UX person and I was working with the design team on the product and I saw that 10% of our customers had a UHD screen, I would be saying to everyone, we must design for this, right? So
for sure.
Use the data to help make the business case for doing the UX and design work.
And if we are going to talk about AI, do you think this optimizing devices experience will become more complex or easier with AI?
It'll become easier with AI because what we'll be able to do is not replace the person who does the testing, but we can automate the testing. So we'll be able to automate iPhone, Android, Mac, Windows, and then a human reviewer will check all of the results, then go walk it themselves by hand. But the AI will have automated, maybe found about 70% of the problems. So it's not doing the whole job, but it will check and find things that maybe a human would have missed, because we think humans are perfect and they are not. AI isn't perfect, humans aren't perfect either. So use both together to make the work of the human even better than it is now.
That's a hook for our interview today. Thank you so much for your presence here. Thank you for precious information that you gave us today, and can't wait to see you maybe to the next edition. So for good luck.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Craig. Noi rămânem aici pentru că în continuare o să avem parte de invitați surpriză cu multe informații valoroase pe care abia așteptăm să le sharim cu voi.